So one, I think there should be rule of law. That is the key term. এই টার্মটা আমরা এস্টাবলিশ করতে চাই। আই থিঙ্ক আমরা একটু সরে গেছি এটা থেকে, আইনের শাসন যেটা আমরা একটা দিকে একটু চলে যাচ্ছিলাম, সেটা হচ্ছে রুল অফ পাওয়ার, রুল অফ সাম পার্টিকুলার পারসন। সো সেটা থেকে ইফ উই ক্যান কাম ব্যাক to the original idea of rule of law, that is something that I would aspire to, and I think that is something that we really need to work as a legal community. That would be my number one. Number two would be creating a level playing field for everyone. So be it you are rich, you are poor, you have some certain political beliefs, you come from certain race, you have a certain gender, whatever you may be, but you have a level playing field. There is the law and you have your rights, and you have a guarantee that your rights will be protected. Number three would be, and this is very special to me, which is that there should be an appreciation and practice of knowledge. এখান থেকেও আমরা একটু সরে গেছি। আমরা, when we think of in our legal community, we have gone towards many other things, but sort of strayed from that idea of really practicing wisdom, knowledge. Law is it's a profession that requires a lot of reading, a lot of studying, a lot of understanding, and the more depth you have, the better you can actually serve the client, the court, the state. So এই জায়গাটা আই থিঙ্ক আমাদের অনেকটা ইম্প্রুভমেন্ট দরকার, and that I would say is appreciation of knowledge from everyone, from lawyers to judges, and even যারা বিচার প্রার্থী, যারা আমাদের ক্লায়েন্টস হয়, তারাও ওটাকে অ্যাপ্রিসিয়েট করাটা, আই থিঙ্ক that would be very important. When they will appreciate it, we will also appreciate it as well. If they appreciate knowledge, then as lawyers we will also try to be more knowledgeable. Judges will want to be more knowledgeable, and that is something that we really need to come back to. Eta age chilo amader, but we need to come back to. Number one, I think there should be guaranteed freedom of speech. This is something that I really feel strongly about. Freedom of speech is something that we haven't really been able to practice for the last decade and a half. We saw how it went from worse to worse. People got more and more scared to speak their mind, and I think it's something that we really need to bring back. And no matter what your thought is, no matter what you want to say, you should be able to say it without the fear of consequence, and that is something I want for Bangladesh. Number two is we should be able to coexistence. That is I think something that I would really want for Bangladesh. We are a very diverse society. We have many different kinds of cultures, beliefs, accents, color of skin, ideas of what Bangladesh is, ideas of what Bangladesh should be, but we all should be able to coexist and respect each other while being part of this country. Number three is, I think we should all have a human first approach. The state particularly should have a human first approach. We saw how development was prioritized, infrastructure was prioritized, but when one of the biggest lessons for the last government, I think, was that humans were not prioritized over infrastructure, over things like metro rail. So any government that comes should prioritize lives, happiness, the human experience of living in Bangladesh, and their betterment as a whole, as opposed to looking at building roads and bridges and flyovers. That is all very important, but that's only one part of the human experience. The human experience includes a lot of other things, and we can go back to people being able to speak their mind, people being able to coexist, and all of that comes into this, that there should be a human first approach in how you govern the state. So a reformed Bangladesh, I think it's a very difficult question to ask. It's a very difficult time to ask this question because at this point when this interview is being taken, we are only a few days after a very bloody revolution, and obviously we have a lot of expectations and we have a lot of aspirations, and it is very easy to be disappointed. It is very easy to be disheartened, and at this point we think that আমরা যেটা চেয়েছিলাম সেটা কি পেলাম কিনা, সেটা হয়তো বা আমরা অনেক কিছুই চাচ্ছি, সেটা সব কিছু হয়তো পাবো না, কারণ others also have expectations and there is a lot of, I would say, lots of different groups to satisfy, lots of different views of how things should be. So I know that what I expect may not be fulfilled in 100%, but I think this is a very good opportunity for us to renegotiate how we look at our country, how we look at each other, how we look at how we are with our country and each other. So if you ask me how I see Bangladesh, a reformed Bangladesh, I would say number one, it's a safe country where people can be safe when they speak, people can be safe when they want to assemble together, when they want to dress how they want, when they just want to be on the streets in public. They should feel safe that no one is going to come and tell them that they shouldn't be doing what they're doing. They shouldn't feel like they are going to be robbed, hijacked, sexually harassed, and something similar. Another thing is, in a reformed Bangladesh, we would like to be equals. And I'm not saying that we have to be equal in terms of wealth, but we should be able to speak to each other as equals. And that means everyone should be able to have that self-respect. Everyone should be treated with respect. Everyone should have enough to have a respectable life. There shouldn't be a situation where we are someone has a lot and someone has nothing. We have a responsibility to ensure that even if the wealth is not the same, the respect for every human life is the same.